Hello, welcome to Board Deck and Dice. We have played a round of Coimbra, or Coimbra, and Mark has his Rhubarb Crumble. I'm with Chris, Mark. A game with lots of options, but the round play is fairly straightforward. We've kind of desecrated this at the minute. We're going to set back up, but basically there are 4 favour tiles up here, 4 cards in each row. You can be placing dice in the top one. If you place a 1, you get first choice, 1 to 6 that way, 6 to 1 that way in the bottom 3, and that dictates what choice you have of cards. Cards are going to do things like give you your, just try and get the reflection away, give you your guards and your coins, which are basically both just currency. So you'll roll the dice, you'll draft the dice into your little cool little holders. You place the dice out where you want to buy, or you could be faking because you're just going to collect some resources. Once you've bought a card, you bring them back here. Then there's various ways of collecting crowns, so many ways. That sorts turn order out. Then you will look at the colours of dice you've got, and depending on which colours you've got, you will activate, you won't go up on a chart, you will activate the reward. So, the coins moving through the city, which isn't as obvious because there's no direct action to do it, in a sense. Like, you don't have a phase of the game where you're moving, it just comes off of the bonuses. Then you get a chance to put a disc on a voyage card. I'm laughing because it's like as though there's theme there when there's not really. But you put a disc on, and that is simply endgame scoring potential. But you may get a chance to trigger them mid-game as well. So there is a bit of choice there. At the start of the game, you'll draft cards, which may be C cards. What the C means is during phase C, these will activate. So if I take a black card during phase C, which I did, so I should have 1 more of each of those. I'll do that in a minute.
Oh, I should have a coin.
And I should have a blooming...
And points.
Yeah, we'll sort that in a minute.
Yeah.
And I should have saved money on my shields. Was that shield? I don't think it was actually. No, it wasn't shield.
I should save money on
that one. We'll work it out in a minute. The E cards activate at the E phase, which is when you're going up when you're claiming your rewards. So I've got one which can take me up on track every time, track my choice, and get me a coin, which is quite helpful. And that was a instant reward thing. Complexity comes in getting across all the available actions, but the flow is quite nice and makes sense. Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I like how the choices you make at the very beginning not only affect what you're immediately choosing, like what you're buying and how much you've got to pay by the timesing of the dice against the resource, which you didn't mention.
So I'll just do, when you go in here, whatever number dice you put in that's the value of whatever resource of whatever currency you have to pay, basically. So if I put a 6 in there to get first choice, it means I'm going to have to pay 6 coins if I want that one, or 6 guards, basically another version of coins.
So not only does the dice important for that, it can be important for the cards that you gain. Like for instance, that one, if I use a grey dice, then that gets me extra guardsmen.
Yep.
And then also how it drafts points or moves or coins or guards again at the end of the round. So it's nice. You can't just think about it for the immediate move. You have to think about what you're planning.
It instantly had a nice feel, didn't it?
Or you just pick whatever you want, like Mark does.
Yeah, I think a bit more like Lorenzo was a bit harder for me to grasp. Like, I feel like I've already grasped the potential in this. I'm already thinking. Kind of like this bit, you can't help but be reminded of Marco Polo in a way.
Yeah.
But movement is far easier in this.
Oh, yeah.
If you want it, basically, if you want to move, you can aim for that.
Yeah.
And if you get your purple high enough, you're going to be moving at the end of the round every time anyway.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts while you're eating your rhubarb crumble?
Very unique way of, like Chris is on right, of like choosing stuff.
Yeah.
Never played a game like that before.
But it's just got the extra thing of the cost, which makes it a bit different, hasn't it? And then it throws
like
in...
one dice choice in it that matters for like the whole round.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it seems good.
Cool. We'll come back at the end of the game. I think it's only like 4 rounds or something.
Oh, is it?
It's not
Wow.
long when these cards run out and 16, 12
I
come
suppose
out
it's
each
quite a
time.
lot of cards, yeah.
Yeah, so cool. We'll come back at the end, see who wins, see what we think. We're just going to
Adjust our scores.
adjust our scores and everything, yeah. And this time it's Chris stuff in his face. We just finished with a glorious victory for yours truly. 120, 101, 93. I think I was just a bit of a jack of all trades at the end there, wasn't I? I went heavier on this than anyone else, which was a risk because I didn't get any points off the highest scoring one, but I did get off that, which was the second highest scoring, quite convincingly, and I was getting points off that. But yeah, lots of ways to score points. Struggle to remember everything down here in the first few rounds, like more the powers that activate. Like, like we did in the first bit of filming. We should have done that, should have done that. But I really like that. Nice, colourful, theme is not really there, but the decisions are interesting. I honestly didn't know who was going to win until we started doing endgame scoring. That's when it dawned on me. I thought I had a good chance, given that these down here are out. There's loads of these. There's at least another 2 lots of these. So yeah, and lots of ways it can be expanded. There's lots of room in the box. There was already a mini expansion, but you have to get it off their site. What do you think, Mark?
Very good. Definitely not like any other game I've played. That was a real lifesaver for me because I had 4 discs out.
Yeah, you say lifesaver, you still lost.
Yeah, but I would have lost by a lot if I hadn't have gone
before
there.
we did any scoring, he was nearly 15 points ahead.
Yeah. So you pointed out that I've done more than a 25, so I've done about a £40 switcheroo on him.
Yeah.
Just in the end game scoring.
Yeah.
Plan ahead, boy. I know don't, because you already take so long.
I can't think enough to plan ahead.
Chris, good one for you?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I thought I was going to be a bit closer to you at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that you picked up that card that managed to get you
10 points for that one.
Pretty
And that was all on the last round because that's when I picked up 2 greens, and I specifically gambled for it because I didn't take one of the favour tiles. I went straight in for 3 cards. I was like, I'm going to give myself a chance to get it and a chance to make that 10 or 15 points.
Yeah, I sort of bugged myself up a little bit at the end on the last round because I committed myself to too much spending.
That was a really good one for me, allowing me to move every time I bought a black or grey card, and I hammered that early on.
Yeah.
I think I definitely committed to moving more. Moving felt important to me, but
I
again,
don't feel like I got much out of it.
You didn't do a lot of moving, and you're still up there. I mean, we joke about 30 points, but yeah, you were ahead for the majority of the game without moving.
I wish I'd have gone up more on these.
Yes.
If I'd have been 1 up more on there, I would have been. Got
I would
5
say
points,
those are more important than. I mean, you could just.
They're not that.
You could just smash green cards and get up to 8 points. Every time you use a green dice. If you manage to get 2 around, that's 16 points around.
But like, these aren't. That's the most resources you get out of 1, and it's only 3 of each, which you get more of in this. Even on the.
I have to say,
you move up 1 and you get 3 of each on there. Every go you use.
I felt like I rarely got into problems where I couldn't afford something I wanted, whereas you two seemed to a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think I had the good defensive one, and if I was ever going to struggle, I just took a 1 and took the card that popped me back up.
I very rarely used up here.
Yeah, no.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
But again, if you get that one first, it's worth doing because that's 16 points for the game, and that's almost the difference between us, isn't it? I really like the crowns. It's so well thought out that you get some printed on the board, but then you can also say, well, I'm going to take one with more crowns to hopefully hold on to the first position. But like going last, if they're all the same numbers, you can just whack yours in front of it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where going first isn't necessarily a whole lot better.
Well, you can choose. You got more choice of what happens to them, don't you? Because only those kind of dice that you pick.
Yes.
Activate them, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. The dice is what you're getting.
I feel like I wasted too much time moving early on because.
Yeah.
You wasted time.
Because I didn't have any resources, so I was trying to get onto here, and then I got to sort of there, and I was like, that's not actually that good.
Yeah.
Because by the time I've got down there, I've already got all the resources.
Whereas I just figured I'd hit as many as possible because it was bound to pay off sometime. Like, I hit that when it wasn't very efficient, but I just thought, get round them all, get your discs out. And I did get something for that, didn't I? At one point I scored for all the ones I had on. Was it one of these?
No.
You get a card, I think.
Or was it a card? Oh yeah, it was something. I scored for every one that I had because I scored a nice big 8 points there in penultimate round. So yeah, very impressive. I think that's it's definitely breached my top 100 from the first play. I'll be interested to see how the legs on it are. I don't find a problem with Lorenzo because the cards come out in different orders, but there's a limited amount of cards in this, the same as there is Lorenzo. But the variety comes from the other things, doesn't it, and where people go and stuff like that. And these are so clever for lower player counts as well. Having those as neutral dice works really well. Something else for you to take into account. So that is Coimbra.
Yeah.
And you've been watching Board Deck and Dice. We'll see you next time.